Folks, I'm with a bad dude on this program. He's Dr. Lew McCloud, star of the daytime serial soap opera As the World Turns, which I've watched my entire life. Actually, I'm with soap opera star Monti Sharp. Monti, welcome to Louisiana Legends.
Thank you, my pleasure.
You're from Monroe.
That's correct.
What was it like growing up in Monroe?
It was great. Laid back, very nice. I had a large family, and we were very close, still are. And I don't have anything to compare it to, and I don't want to.
Do your folks still live in Monroe?
Absolutely.
They do. And do you get home sometimes?
At least twice a year.
Twice a year. Monti, you won in, I think, 1993, an Emmy Award. This is really something for Outstanding Younger Act in a Drama Series, as well as Soap Opera Digest Outstanding Male Newcomer Award, and were nominated for another Daytime Emmy in 1994. Now, all of this was when you were on The Guiding Light.
That's right.
What's it like after you establish a career and a reputation on The Guiding Light and you're a star, and suddenly you're in a whole new world, a whole new set of circumstances as the world turns?
It's interesting. I mean, from the acting standpoint, it's a much different character. I think on Guiding Light, he was a very nice guy, sort of the world's nicest guy, and now I'm sort of almost the world's not so nicest guy.
You notice he won't say bad.
So that's been very interesting. I mean, it's challenging from an artistic standpoint. It's a whole new set of people, a whole new set of, I guess, rules, and that's been very, very interesting.
Tell me about your education in Louisiana.
I went through the Ouachita Parish school system, Ouachita Junior High, Ouachita High School, played football for many years, sang in the choir, did speech tournaments, competed in forensics. Then I went to Northeast Louisiana University in radio, TV, film. Started in the radio news at KNOE-TV, CBS in Monroe. And from there went to the North Carolina School of the Arts to study acting. And then moved to New York after that.
Now, when you were in Northeast, was there anyone who inspired you, who motivated you?
Oh, absolutely. I think Dr. George Bryan, whom I met when I was 11 years old, as a matter of fact. At that time, I wanted to be a clown. I thought that being a circus clown was, I really liked that. And I had a teacher at Ouachita Junior High School who said, well, you know, being a clown is okay, but maybe you should try to look at theater. And there was a youth camp at Northeast Louisiana University run by Dr. George Bryan. And I discovered musicals, and I discovered acting. And I did that every year for 5, 6 years. And we rehearsed during the summer, we learned technical theater, we learned dance, we had acting classes. So that really opened my mind to theater, acting, and the business at large. I mean, he really exposed us to making a living acting, which was something that I never really considered before.
Then what was North Carolina School of the Arts like?
Ironically, it was a bit like that youth camp. I mean, in the sense that that's really all we did. I mean, it was a conservatory, so it was very intense, and we learned technical theater, we learned acting, we learned dance. We learned stage combat, we learned styles, we learned dialects, we learned, we studied the classics. It was an intense program geared to prepare us to enter the business.
Monti, I would say that acting would be the most difficult profession to break into of any profession. And acting in New York is kind of the ultimate challenge for a person to thrust upon himself or herself. Now, how did you decide to come to this city where we're doing this program tonight?
Well, I think as a youngster, to my knowledge at that time, New York was really the only place. I mean, that's where you go to do Broadway, that's where you go to do off-Broadway, and I had some heroes at the time, Terrence Mann, who was doing Cats at the time, and many people. So I never really considered any other place. It was a daunting prospect. I mean, it was very scary. I thought, that terrible things could happen, but that's what I wanted to do.
Tell me your first impression of New York.
I think, well, certainly flying in, as we were talking before, was, I remember it was nighttime. And my uncle had told me before I left, he said, listen, you're going to be okay, but just don't fly into New York at night. I said, okay, it's no problem, you know. And somehow, I don't remember how, but I wound up with an arrival time at night. So we're flying in, we're on the approach or whatever, and I can see like police lights, you know, reflecting off the buildings as we're getting closer. And it was kind of scary until I looked at the whole of it, and I just thought, I'd never seen anything like it. I mean, the lights, the buildings, the people. I didn't know how they were going to land this plane in the middle of all that, but it was exciting to find that out. And I just never really felt scared about it. It was just exciting, man. It was exciting.
Monty, what did you do to earn a living? Because people don't just hit New York and suddenly they're a star on daytime television.
No.
Or any other role.
Yeah, no, that doesn't quite happen. At least I haven't heard of it happening. But I've done a lot of things here. I waited tables. I was a soda jerk. I worked in an art gallery. I worked for Journal Graphics doing transcripts for television. I've worked as a video monitoring service. We made storyboards for commercials.
And did you haunt the tryouts?
Oh, absolutely. I think the first thing I did was to try to get an agent, that whole shuffle, taking your pictures, sending them out, making phone calls.
Not a chance, huh?
Well, you know, that's tough. I mean, the rejection, you go and you meet people, and you know, you haven't done a show, so you can't get a show, but you know, that whole Catch-22 thing, and
see, the rejection is really something, because unlike almost any other profession, you are your product.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if that product gets turned down enough, I've run into some awfully defeated people in the theater, and it's understandable.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
So how did that first break, how did that happen?
I was soda jerking at a place on 6th Avenue, and I had auditioned for a show, and I got a call back on it for a couple callbacks, and I felt pretty good about it. My agent called me and said, well, they're going to go with someone else.
Oh.
But I felt okay about it. I felt like I'd done a good job. A couple of weeks went by, the gentleman that they had hired got another show, so he left that show. And then my agent called back and said, congratulations, you're going to get the part. And I went to Cincinnati, got my equity card, and did a production of Fences out there.
Wow.
That was my first show.
What kind of feeling was that? I mean, suddenly your whole life was validated. You were, in fact, a professional actor.
Oh, yeah, that was exhilarating. I mean, I think I danced around, I danced around that whole day. Just the thought of the equity card. I thought, wow, I'm going to get my card. I'm going to do a play that's a really good play, and I'm going to travel. And they're actually going to pay me. I mean, I thought that was great. I really, it's hard to describe that feeling.
Having a dream come true is a frightening experience, isn't it?
It is.
You know, pursuing it is thrilling, and then the reality is like an explosion.
Completely. I mean, I think the pursuit of it, you know, for so long, I mean, since I was 11, I've been trying to do this. And at that time, I began to learn other parts of the business and going to different theaters, and once you get in there, it's a whole different ball of wax. So that was another education I had, and you never stop paying dues.
When you stepped out on that stage in Cincinnati, did some inner voice say to you, yeah, this is it?
I think so. Mm-hmm. And I think that at that point in my career, I had been a musical theater actor. So I wasn't really sure if straight live theater was really for me. But with that show, I think I really moved past really wanting to pursue musical theater, and I just fell in love with that.
So then what happened after that? Okay, you're in Cincinnati, which it's a city, but it's not New York.
Right.
What happened after that?
The director of a production of Fences that was going to occur at Arena Stage in Washington, D.C. saw our show. And he invited me to New York to audition for his production. So I took a weekend and went to the city and auditioned for him. He cast me in that show with an actor named Yaphet Kotto, whom I really admire. Great actor, great American actor. At a place that I always, really wanted to work. And that was just another, confirmation that, yeah, I feel good about this, I think I can do this, and it really exists out there. I did that show and had a role in the regionals, left D.C., went to Atlanta, did a show at the Alliance Theater, came back, did a show in Baltimore, went to Boston, went to the Guthrie to do a production of Death of a Salesman, which is one of my favorites.
So you were a busy actor.
Very busy, yeah.
What part did you play in that? Which one of the sons?
I did Biff.
Biff. It's a great American play.
Fabulous play.
Great play.
Fabulous play.
And I read an article today, this very day as we're taping this, that he said, Arthur Miller said that Serious Theater was just about a dead thing in this city, in this great city. He was very discouraging.
Wow.
Serious Theater.
I think, you know, that caliber of theater, you know, the period out of which plays like that came, I would like to see that kind of focus come back. Now I think it's, you know, it's economic. I think it's sort of a business for different type of artists, and it's very visual, it's very technical, and that's good. But I think the craft of acting, or actor to audience, I think the focus has sort of shifted from that.
Now tell us about how daytime television beckoned. Did you ever even consider it, dream of it, think about it?
Didn't think about it. Didn't really watch daytime TV. It was on in the house growing up, so I was aware of it. And I was doing a show at the public.
You said your mother watched though, As the World Turns.
As the World Turns, The Guiding Light, yeah. So I was well familiar with those shows. And the casting director for Guiding Light, Betty Ray, came to see a show that I was doing at the public, and they were looking for an actor to play this part.
Is that what it's about, though? Presenting yourself, and it's almost like fishing, isn't it? Somebody may be in the audience.
You never know. You never know who's watching. I think you just have to do what you love and keep doing it, you know, and what's for you will come to you. I do believe that.
Well, along the way, I must ask you this, and I beg you to really consider your answer, because there's a lot of kids watching this program tonight because you're on it, who are talking about going to New York and so on. How tough is that life, coming to this city and getting going?
That's a tough life. I would urge anyone to seriously consider the life that surrounds what you actually see at home. I mean, when you turn on a television set, or you go to the movie and you see a person, you see
so glamorous.
It's great at that point, but that's 90 minutes or 60 minutes. The life surrounding that is very difficult. There are a lot of people out here trying to do that, and there aren't that many opportunities, comparatively speaking. And it's tough. As you said earlier, the rejection, which happens more often than not, is simply hard to take. It's hard. You have to develop the ability to keep moving.
So you and I would urge caution for anybody not to jump on the Greyhound bus tonight and take off for New York.
I would be very cautious about that. If I were inclined to do that, I would make sure that I was trained. I think that's what I find to be the differentiating factor. Training prepares you to endure. And to allow your art to survive, which is you, which is your instrument. And you have to take care of that.
So this casting director sees you in a theatrical performance, and when do you get a telephone call?
About 3 days after that show closed. I had 2 auditions and a screen test, and then I didn't hear anything for about a week. I closed the show with the public and began looking for more work, and then my phone rang one afternoon. And that was, I didn't really believe it at first. I said, well, you know. Really?
Somebody, yeah.
And overnight, my life changed. Literally overnight. Suddenly I had to get up at 5:45 in the morning. And I had been used to being up until 3 o'clock in the morning, sleeping until noon, and then going to the theater overnight.
So what's that life like starring in a soap? What time do you get up and
It's tough. I mean, 6 o'clock is a good morning. You know, getting up at 6 o'clock, usually to the studio by 7. You're in rehearsal. You come right out of rehearsal, you go to hair and makeup, you get your costume on, and then you start taping, or you wait around. So there's a lot of hurry up and wait. And then once you hit the floor, once you hit the studio, it's fast. I mean, it's very fast. People come from everywhere, and everybody's prepared to do their thing, and then that's when everything kind of gels.
So tell us about this ferocious undertaking of studying those scripts for 5 shows a week.
That's very difficult. You get a different script every day. And usually, if you're doing theater or if you're even doing a film, you've got some days with a script or a scene. Here, you have an entire script every single day. So you're working 8 to 12 hours a day, and then you go home at night and you have to prepare to do that tomorrow.
So there must be tremendous discipline involved.
Absolutely.
You can't fall behind, can you?
No.
On that memorizing those lines.
I think it's generally accepted that soap opera is some of the toughest work you can do. It really is some of the toughest work you can do.
Now, how long then did you stay on Guiding Light?
3 years.
3 years.
I was there for 3 years.
And then what happened there?
I left Guiding Light in '95 and decided
With an Emmy in your pocket.
with an Emmy in my
Yeah,
hand.
that ain't bad.
Not bad. I felt pretty good about that. So part of a reward to myself was to learn how to fly. So I moved to Florida, enrolled in a flight school, and got my private pilot's license. That was something I wanted to do for a long time, and I decided to take that.
You did something for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when did this As the World Turns come along?
Between Guiding Light and As the World Turns, I did a short stint on a show called The City, which was on ABC. It was fairly short-lived. And I went to LA, did some work on NYPD Blue. Came back to New York, did a play down at the Venue Theater, and was just kind of looking for, the next thing. And then decided to move to LA. I thought, well, let me go out to LA and see what that's all about. And I was out there for 7 months, and then got a call from the producer at As the World Turns, and was excited by this character. I mean, this character wasn't easy for me. I mean, he's very, he's a bad dude.
He's a bad dude. Yeah, Lew McCloud's bad.
Lew is bad. So that was a challenge that I was looking forward to. And then I came back. I mean, literally a couple of days later, I was on a plane and I'm here.
How many times have you been told that you look like a young Sidney Poitier? All the time, huh?
At least a couple of times.
A couple of times. I mean, I think it's, as a young man I'm talking about. So what all do you do in your spare time?
I paint, draw, I fly my planes, I write music, I write. I'm very, art and painting, drawing, music, I do those things in preparation to one day be a film director. And I think that's the one medium where it can be an amalgamation of all the things that I enjoy doing.
That you've learned.
Yes.
How many people does it take? We're not talking about cast now, but people working on the set and the costumes and hair. How many people does it take to produce a 5-hour-a-week drama?
Hundreds. I mean, in front of and behind the camera, literally hundreds. I mean, you have designers, you have construction people, you have lighting people, you have makeup people, you have costume people, you have actors, you have coaches, you have directors, assistants, the list really goes on. You have publicity people, it's phenomenal.
How long do you think this job will last? Because as the world turns. Because it is a business of, isn't it?
It is, yeah. First and foremost, I think it is a business, yeah. For me?
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. I mean, I don't know.
Would you like it to go on?
I would. I'd like to see this character grow. I'd like to see him...
You kind of want him to straighten up his act, don't you?
But not too soon. I mean, but I do want to, I'd like to see him find... I'd like to see him find some more admirable qualities.
I want you to share with our audience what you shared with me. Now, Dr. Lew McCloud is a bad dude. We've explained that. Tell folks about when you were out on the street here in New York, the kind of experiences you have.
Well, it was very different as David Brown, the guy in Light. People come and go, oh, how are you? So nice, we saw you deliver Bridget's baby, and you're so nice. And now, as in the other day, this lady stopped me on the street and she just said, you are a king-size rat. And I think that kind of sums it up. I get strange looks, people look at me like...
Nobody wants you messing with them medically, right?
No, not at all.
What was that experience like to first be nominated for that Daytime Emmy? And then, my goodness, to sit there and hear your name called? What was that like? I mean, that's what actors and actresses work towards. That is the highest accolade that you could give an actor. If you're a writer, it's the Pulitzer Prize. If you're an actor, it's the Emmy or the Tony. What's that like?
That was incredible. I think it's probably one of the most incredible nights of my life. And I was just excited to be there. I mean, everything leading up to it, and you get ready, you put on your tuxedo, and you go over, and everybody's there, and everybody's excited. And the idea of actually winning the trophy was not really, I mean, I didn't really think about that. It was just...
it was too far-fetched.
Yeah. I mean, there were many more actors nominated, each of which, I respected them all, and we're friends with many of them. And I remember sitting there, and the time came, and I had been nervous up until that one point, and I was thinking, well, now, everybody that's working, that I'm working with is looking at me. So it depends upon how I'm going to handle, like, not getting this trophy. And people lean over and go, oh, it's okay.
We'll try, next time.
That's what I was thinking. And then about a half a second after she called my name, I thought, hey, that's me.
Wow.
And I was sweating. I mean, I was like, it was, I think it was almost like a trance.
Your mother and father must have been beyond thrilled. There has to be some next stage that they were at.
I don't know who was more excited, me or them.
Will that change your career forever, winning this very highest and then being dominated for another? Is the impact on a career tremendous?
I think it definitely changes you. I mean, certainly changes me, and it changes my work.
Monty, I want to thank you for taking time out. Monty has to, everyone thinks it's a glamorous life. Monty now goes home to learn how many pages of script.
About 30 days.
And you said it'll be till about 1 o'clock in the morning.
At least.
Well, you've been a delightful guest, and I, like every Louisianian, are very proud that Dr. Lew McCloud, Monti Sharp, hails from Monroe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gus.
Louisiana Legends is made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana. This important program series enables us to discover, through the accomplishments of our fellow Louisianians, the unique character of the state so proudly served by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana for 60 years.